Welcome to our mock interview pro session, where today we're diving into the role of a licensing officer. Whether you're just starting out or looking to brush up on your skills, we're here to help you prepare for your next big interview. Let's get started with the first question. Can you think of a moment when your keen eye for detail helped you catch a potential problem in the licensing process? This question is all about demonstrating your ability to spot details that others might miss, which is crucial in preventing issues before they arise. Here are some tips to help you answer this effectively. Recall a specific situation where you needed to be extra vigilant. Highlight the details you focused on and why they mattered. Talk about the issue you managed to avoid thanks to your actions. Now, let's take a look at how you might frame your answer.
In my last job, I was responsible for reviewing business license applications. I spotted a discrepancy between the financial statements and tax returns of one applicant. After flagging this, we conducted a thorough investigation, avoiding potential fraud and ensuring that only genuine businesses receive their licenses.
By the way, we're only covering a handful of questions in this video, but I've prepared a free PDF with all 30 top interview questions for licensing officer. It also includes example answers and tips to help you prepare with confidence. The download link is just below. Tell us about a time you needed to explain intricate licensing regulations to someone who wasn't familiar with them. How did you make sure they understood? This question assesses your communication skills, particularly your ability to simplify complex information for others. Here's how you can tackle this question. Choose an example where you had to break down licensing regulations. Use simple language and steer clear of technical jargon. Ask questions to confirm their understanding, using examples they can relate to. Let's look at a sample answer to better illustrate this.
At my previous job, I explained the new licensing requirements to a small business owner. I simplified the regulations into everyday language, gave examples relevant to their business, and encouraged them to ask questions to ensure they understood everything clearly.
Can you describe a situation where you had to step in and mediate a disagreement over licensing terms? How did you handle it? This question evaluates your conflict resolution skills and your ability to mediate and reach amicable solutions. To effectively answer this, consider the following. Pick a clear example of a disagreement you mediated. Focus on the parties involved and their differing views. Describe the actions you took to open communication and resolve the issue. Here's a way you might respond.
In a former role, there was a conflict between two departments over licensing terms for a software product. I arranged a meeting where both teams could voice their concerns. By actively listening and summarizing their viewpoints, I facilitated a compromise on shared terms which satisfied everyone and improved team collaboration.
A new regulation has come into play affecting multiple product licenses. How would you ensure compliance? This question looks at your strategic planning abilities and how you manage regulatory changes. Here's how you can think about your answer. Start by thoroughly reviewing the new regulation. Identify the products impacted and communicate the changes to everyone involved. Create an action plan to update and monitor licensing procedures. Let's see an example of how you might answer.
I would begin by closely reviewing the new regulation to understand the necessary changes. Then, I'd identify all affected products and inform stakeholders about the compliance requirements. An action plan would be developed to adapt licensing procedures, and I'd implement a system to ensure ongoing compliance.
Imagine a licensee is disputing the terms of their agreement. How would you address this situation? This question assesses your problem-solving abilities and your skill in handling disputes diplomatically. To address this question, keep these points in mind. Listen carefully to understand the licensee's concerns. Review the agreement in detail to pinpoint the specific issues. Maintain open communication and aim to mediate a fair solution. Here's a sample response to guide you.
First, I'd listen attentively to the licensee's concerns to fully grasp the dispute. I would then review the agreement to identify the issues. Continuous communication would be key, aiming to mediate a solution that satisfies both parties. Throughout, I'd document all discussions for clarity and future reference.
Before we wrap up, remember you can get all 30 questions, example answers, and step-by-step tips in a handy PDF. Totally free, just grab it below.